That it for real makes you go live. All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on? How you guys doing? You said, why you so bright? Because you a light bright.
No, I'm really bright. It's just like...
You're just a light bright, baby.
But hi, everybody.
How y'all doing?
We're beach. We're back.
Back again for another episode. Episode. Yeah. Anyways, this is David and Mary. What are you doing?
I want to get
dark. So my wife is complaining about the complexion of her skin in this video, and she's just a light bright, y'all. Just tell her. Wow. Just tell her she's a light bright. Baby, you're a light bright. You are a light bright. Anyways, with that being said, today is the day that the Lord has made,
and we will rejoice and be
glad in it. But you know, we are so happy to be here. God has given us another day to be before you guys, and we just want to take the time out to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Live, Love, Laugh. We do have a couple things we want to talk to you guys about today. The title of our message today is, let's see, all couples have arguments. But what we really wanted to do is we want to talk about how you can have a healthy argument. But before we jump into that, we do have a scripture. That you want to read that scripture for us?
Mark 10 and 9. Therefore, what God has joined together, no person is to
separate. Look, no one should be able to separate what God put together. Yes. He's not going to put something together and take it apart. God always going to speak life into whatever He created. He's going to speak life into it. It's for you to obey those commandments that you take when you get married. If you're not married and you're just in a relationship and you're just dating, that's something totally different. But in that relationship, you can still speak life into that relationship. We do look kind of bright. Let's see. There we go. Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
He's trying to blind me, y'all. That's why I wasn't looking at
But if you didn't know by now, this is the David and Mary. Well, my name is David, and this is
Mary
Hystens, and we
are
the Live, Love, Laugh. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Like we said, the title of what we're doing today is having a healthy relationship. All couples do have arguments.
Yes.
We don't call them arguments. We call them what?
Heated fellowship.
Heated fellowships. And in our heated fellowships, we have a couple of things that we try to put in place before we have these heated fellowships. Sometimes during the heated fellowships, sometimes we take some of the advice that we give out. Well, actually, we try to take all the advice that we put out. A lot of times when we are talking to you guys, we are talking about experiences that we've either had in the past or stuff that we're going through right now.
What he said.
Okay? So, if something, doesn't work for you, hey, that's okay. But this is how we kind of operate. All right? Yes. So, with that being said, let's go to the first one. The first one is what, babe?
Acknowledge that there's a problem.
All right. So, look, hey, at the first thing, that's the first step to knowing that there is something wrong in the relationship. You have to acknowledge it. Don't be blind to the fact that there is a problem. Always be able to come to the table and put everything on it. Understand that when you acknowledge that there's a problem, you open up the door for one of the biggest things that we talk about all the time, and that's communication.
Yeah.
Communication can solve every last one of the problems.
Everything.
If you had just acknowledged that there's a problem,
What he said.
you know, and there's something that we're going to talk about a little later in the show. But right or wrong, what I'm saying, like, don't come to it, like that. Don't come to it thinking that, okay, all right, this person is not going to listen to what I have to say. And then also be able to understand that, hey, although there is a problem, I'm not in trouble. You shouldn't feel like you are that the person that you're with is not going to listen to what you're saying. So understand that you're not in trouble. Be adults about the situation and acknowledge that there's a problem.
What he said. You gotta acknowledge it.
Yeah, acknowledge it.
And don't deny it. Sometimes people say, well, I see that there's a problem, because every time when this happens, something comes up or whatever, and the other person be like, no, ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. Yes, it is. It's a problem. And until you admit that there is a problem, you're going to keep having a problem.
Right. Don't it's so crazy that she just said that. And when you admit that there's a problem, hey, when you're having that problem, be mature enough to understand that, hey, if she's bringing a problem to you, then it's a problem. Don't be in denial. Tell it like for real. Just be real. Just be real about the situation. Understand that there is a problem. And because we have a problem, now we got to go sit down and talk about the problem.
A lot of times I look at things like, a lot of times people are hurt. Hurt people hurt others. And a lot of people are hurt and they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to operate, they don't know how to communicate. So they like, no, I don't have a problem. And then they shut down. Then the other person is like, yes, there is a problem, but what you don't realize is until you admit that you have a problem, the healing process cannot begin. You can't heal from what your problem is if you don't open up your mouth. See, the enemy wants to muzzle your mouth. He wants to muzzle your praise. Don't let him muzzle. Don't let the mask muzzle your praise. He wants to muzzle your mouth. He don't want you to talk. He don't want you to open up your mouth and expose what's really bothering you. And my mother used to always say, a closed mouth don't get fed. So if I have a problem and he don't know about it, but I always got an attitude, and he's like, well, dang, well, what is it? And I'm like, nothing. That's being stubborn. I'm saying that because that's me sometimes. I'm just like, nothing, ain't nothing wrong with me. And he's like, yeah, there's a problem. There's something going on, and we need to talk about it. And we're not going to bed until it's talked about. So open up your mouth. Don't give the enemy the victory, because that's what he's wanting to do. He's sitting back laughing like, yeah, got him. Yep, they going to bed mad tonight. And we said we made a vow that we won't go to bed mad.
Right. That's so true. And so acknowledging that there's a problem and understanding that, hey, look, don't go to bed mad. Try to solve the problem. And there's some more stuff that we're going to talk about. So stay tuned, because we're going to probably end up going back over these one more time after we're done. But the next one is stay on topic. Look, don't jump from one topic to the other. All right. Sometimes it's good to come back with a list of stuff that you need to talk about, so that you can stay on topic, so that it's not confusing. Like let's say there's several different things that have gone on, and she's not. The first time it happened, she didn't talk to me about it. Then something else happened, and she didn't talk to me about that. But then something else happened, and it just took her over, and she just had this long list of stuff that she needed to talk to me about. So what happened was she went down this whole list, and instead of dealing with one thing at one time, she dealt with a whole bunch of stuff. And then we just got off a topic and then we just lost train of thought of what we were for real talking about. So the problem will never ever get solved because we didn't stay on one topic. We just went to several topics. We talked about a lot. Ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen. But we talked about so much that we got off the topic and we lost train of thought of what we for real were supposed to be dealing with.
Right. What he say?
That's what he said. That's what he said.
I mean, and he's right. There's a lot of times, like, I'm just like, I'll say one thing. Well, you didn't close the door when you're supposed to. I'm just saying a little stupid stuff. I'm not this petty, but I say, you didn't close the door, and then you turned around and you ate my Twizzler or just something stupid, and he's like, what? And the problem that wasn't even a problem. That wasn't even the issue. But I done added 2, 3, 4, 5 other things to the issue. And then he's like, okay, so I thought that you were mad at me because of this. I am. Well, let's talk about that. No, but wait a minute. But back the other day or last week or last month, and he's like, no, talk to me about what's going on now.
Right.
And then I say, okay, we're going to talk about it. Go ahead, talk about it. You go ahead. But it is important to stay on topic, because if not, like he said, you're going to have all these things. And then the other person's going to feel like, well, dang, you got all these issues with me? Isn't anything nice you got to say about me? And then I'd be like, ugh.
It wasn't one time. That one time in band camp?
No, but I'm always saying good things about him. But, like he said, when you're angry and you don't know how to control your anger, you just let it all out at one time. And it's like, okay, let's deal with this issue first. And then we'll come back to why I didn't close the door. Right.
Let's see. So, like she said, just, stay on topic. Don't feel shameful for writing down what you need to say. Write it down first. Sometimes it makes sense to write it down.
Right.
This is a big one. Control your emotions. Look, there's nothing wrong with being emotional. But when you're trying to talk to someone and you're trying to get out what's going on, and the other person is like, I can't understand what's going on, or you're so mad and so hyped about what's going on or what has happened or any problems or what have you, that your rage overtakes what's coming out of your mouth. So try to control those emotions. Sometimes before you talk, you probably need to go and vent to a pillow or a tree, or just take a time out before you go and you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes, time out. Hey, I need this time, so like cool off real quick, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk. That way you can control what's coming out of your mouth, what's going through your head. You can control your emotions.
Well, I guess I failed in this part, because I'm sorry. What I'm thinking is what's going to come out. I'm just saying.
She's blunt, y'all.
I'm very blunt, and if I would feel like, I don't know, I would, y'all pray for me, because what comes out is what comes out. Now maybe I should think about how I say it, but when I say things, I mean it. When I say certain things, I'm like, okay, I didn't mean how I said it, but I meant exactly what I said, because I want you to know what I'm saying. I don't sugarcoat or beat around the bush to nobody. And so a lot of times I, maybe need to think of how to say it, because it could come out the wrong way. So I guess that's a form of controlling my emotions, that I need to learn how to think before, I say things, because I surprise people's face, be like, did she just say that?
She just said that.
Did.
And don't care about how you feel about it.
I'll be like, was that me?
And I'll be like,
oh my God. But that's just me. I've been praying and asking the Lord to help me, with my mouth, because it can be very
vicious.
yes, in a nicely godly way. I probably don't have a lot of friends because of my mouth, but I'm okay. I'm good. I don't really hang around a lot of people anyway. So,
Friends, how many of us have them? Friends.
but I love everybody. I love y'all. I love everybody. I just love y'all so much. Praise ye of the Lord. Every one of y'all that's on here. It's just one. One is some spectators. All the ones that touch the button and not showing their face.
It's all good.
Too scared to get on here and
Your
say
brother's
hi.
on here.
Hey, Dwayne. Hey, brother. How you doing? Say something. Say hi. So normally Ava be on here.
It's all good. The next one is you do this one, babe.
No, you do this one. Keep it out the bedroom.
Keep it out of the bedroom. Look, I'm a firm believer in spirits transfer. Spirits stay places that you bring them. You don't want to bring an argument into your bedroom. Find a place that is not your bedroom where you sleeping, because the last thing that you need is a memory of you having a problem with your mate in the place that you are intimate in, that you try to be romantic in, and this is your bedroom. This is your secret place. This is your place that you're supposed to be loving towards each other. So keep it out of your bedroom. You don't want that in your bedroom. Mm-hmm. You want love. You want peace in your bedroom. You want to be able to come there and have enjoyable moments. Not this food and left the toilet seat down and you feeling it, and now you're wet and you're arguing with him because of a toilet seat.
Right.
In your bedroom.
What he said.
So keep it out of your bedroom. It's like just understand that your bedroom is not the place for an argument. Go outside. Go to the lake. Go on a walk. Go somewhere else. Go in the car. Somewhere that is not that is sacred as the bedroom.
Yeah. If it's not resolved before time to go to bed. Hey, Quintella.
Hey, what's up, girl?
If it's not resolved before then what?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Because I think, actually that's the next one.
Okay.
But, understanding that hey, it's okay to not have an argument in the bedroom. Don't, just, understand that your bedroom is not the place for an argument.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one, because the next one kind of tells it all. Timing is everything.
Okay.
Timing is everything. Look, understand this. If you have an argument, like my wife just said, that is not being resolved right when you guys are having the discussion, understand it's okay to take a pause. What do I mean by take a pause? Stop. Go somewhere else. Talk about something else. Go eat. Go do something other than have that conversation about what's bothering the two of you.
Well, I kind of disagree on that part, because if you do something like that, the problem is still there. So it's going to be like you forgetting about it, but the person's going to be like, I'm not even hungry. Let's talk about what just happened about 30 minutes ago. I want to talk about that. And you're saying take a break, but it's still bothering the other person. So what do you do in that case? It's like, I want to talk about it. Especially, we being communicators. You want to talk about it. You want to, what I'm saying? I get maybe take a break for a second, but not a long period of time. I can't eat and I'm upset. If I'm pissed off at you, I ain't about to sit up here and eat and fake. I can't do that.
But that's the thing, and I get where you're coming from, but there's sometimes somebody in the relationship has to say, you know what, babe, or you know what,
somebody got to be the peacemaker.
Somebody got to say, hey, look, we're not resolving this right now, and I don't want to continue to have a conversation where we're not listening to each other. Because two people that's fighting, that's not coming to an agreement on a certain situation, it can get bigger than what it for real really is. That's why timing is everything. So sometimes you may have to hit the pause button, even though the other person don't want to hit the pause button. Which that's another thing that I'm gonna come back to. I'm gonna come to it. It's a couple. It's a few down, but I'll talk a little bit about it because we can go into it. But that's where it's called listening.
Yeah.
So at that time, hey, yeah, you can hit the pause button, but if that person still wants to talk about it, I'm not saying just walk away from them. Let them continue to talk. You don't have to say anything. Sometimes when the best thing that you can do in any relationship sometimes is just listen.
Yes, I totally agree.
Is like for real, is just listen. You don't have to always have something to say back.
Yeah, I agree.
And
yes.
I get not wanting to talk about it then, and not talking about it later, but talking about it then, and that's cool. I understand that, but we have to also be understanding to how each other feels in relationships. You never want to get to a point to where you're talking over somebody or you're talking at somebody. You always want to come to the situation with love, and sometimes that's hard, but you always want to come to the situation with love because love is God, and God is love, and love over trumps everything. So sometimes, yeah, it's possible to hit the pause button and to for real allow that person to get out what they gotta say, and then after they get out what they need to say, don't go further into the conversation, but say, hey, look, let's let's put a pause, let's put a pin in there, and let's take a break and then come back to it. Because you're not gonna just solve everything at one time. Sometimes it's gonna take a minute to solve the situation. Because there's been some times where we've been in that situation.
Yeah, but then
and we had to go like for real. We literally had to go we had to go like this, take a time out.
But before the night was over with, we made up. So even though, but still, it's like we have this thing called pillow talk. So he was like, can we talk? And me being who I am, I was like, I do want to talk. You didn't want to talk to me earlier. You didn't want to just, and I didn't want to talk. And so he's like, babe, stop acting like that. Let's go ahead. Let's talk. Let's talk. And so I'm like, what you want to talk about? He was like, well, I do want to talk about earlier. I see that we have a problem, whatever. And we start talking about it. And of course, I'm, the one that ended up doing most of the talking. Because if I don't get it all out,
there's still a problem.
There's still going to be a problem. And somebody ain't going to sleep. Because we said we ain't going to be mad. So somebody ain't going to be going to sleep if I don't get it all out. So I get it. He's the pause man. He like to do the mannequin challenge. Just pause. Me, I want to keep talking about it. I'm just like, well, let's communicate. You want to communicate? Like, no, let's pause, babe. I don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, let's talk about it. I want to talk about it. So he paused, and I'm sitting there thinking of all the stuff I'm going to say to him later on. I'm like, let me write this down because I might forget. So I'm going to remember. I got to write down everything what I'm going to say to him before I forget.
She's right. I can't even disagree with her on that one. But like I said, yeah, timing is everything.
It's everything.
It's everything, and understanding that although you guys may not get everything resolved right then and there, don't go to bed mad at each other.
Yes.
Because you never know. God might call that person home and you still have not got anything resolved.
We still need each other.
All right. Never resort to physical or emotional abuse. This right here is a big one.
Yes.
I don't care who you are, what you are, or how big or small that you are. If you are a man, you have no godly right to put your hands on a woman
or a man
or a man. But yeah. Anyways, with that being said,
for real, there's some women that beat men up.
Oh, I thought you was talking about them. Okay, all right.
No,
my mind went left. You said or man.
No.
Okay, I was speaking from the man's point of view. So,
And I was thinking for the women.
no, unless you are in a loving situation, you should not be putting your hands on somebody
Yes.
and abuse. And emotional abuse is just as worse as physical abuse. If you out there, you emotionally abusing somebody and you know it's bothering them, what's your
Take it from them knuckles, they just bothered me when I saw it online.
But the emotional abuse is just as sometimes is worse than the physical abuse, because when you play with somebody's emotional capacity, look, they snap. You don't want a woman to be like, you messed up, and she be like, okay. That okay ain't okay.
You better go to bed with one
But
eye open and one eye closed.
She be in the kitchen cooking grits. She come in the room playing grit ball.
You're so silly.
Shoot.
Yeah, it's not good for. I'm speaking for the women. Women, a lot of times we, and this is not me and my husband. This is not us. We don't do the physical thing. But a lot of times when I was younger, I thought I was tough. I buck up to a man, like, you don't scare me, and all this stuff. And the first time he raised his hand, I'm like, I'm telling my brother, and I'm calling my daddy, and I'm telling, and that's what happens. A lot of times we get up in men's face, we want to smack them, we want to throw stuff at them, we want to, do all this stuff. And then when they retaliate, you either ready to go get your cousins, your brother, your uncle, your daddy. You ready to go get somebody to get him, but you put your hands on him. And so a lot of times you got to think, my mother always told me, don't put yourself in a man's place. And I was like, what you mean? Don't put myself in, man, what you mean? I'm put myself in a man's place. He don't need to put himself in a woman's place,
Right.
But she would always say, don't put yourself in a man's place. If you hit a man and he hits you back, his hit is harder than yours. Mm-hmm. His strength is way bigger and harder than yours. So you got to be careful. I ain't scared of you. You got to be careful, what you do, you know what I'm saying? And just because they may be the same height as you, a little bit taller than you, or you think because they're nice that you can take advantage of you take their weakness, their kindness for weakness, and you abuse it. Don't do that. I had to learn at an early age, not to do that, because I was quick to go get my brothers. I had 5 of them. Got 5. Like, I'm about to go get my brother. I'm about to call all of them. And I'm telling my daddy. And I was ready to pick up something, bush upside the head. And so I had to learn that. And so my brother, Gerald, I'm calling you out. He used to be like, don't call me, because you right back with that dude. Right after you done sit up here and, y'all done got into it and whatever. Here I'm about to kill the nigga. Oh, excuse me. Kill the boy. And now you back with them. So don't get people in your in your affairs, in your relationships. Yeah. Learn how to control your anger. Learn how to control your emotions, and not put your hands, on a man, and men not keep your hands off of women. Right. I've seen men wear women out, but they won't buck up to a man. They'll punk when it comes to a man. Well, they'll slap the heck out of a woman, drag her and all that stuff,
and then brag about it.
Like it's cute. It's ain't nothing cute about it, because you're gonna reap what you sow. You wouldn't want nobody to put their hands on your mama. So keep your hands off of the woman, because it's not. Please, you be ready to bust somebody upside their head if they put their hands on your mama. Mm-hmm. So think about if somebody was putting their hands on your mama. What would you do? What would you do if somebody put their hands on your mama?
Be lights out. Shitty, bang, bang.
So, that physical and emotional abuse.
Yeah, it's not cool at all.
It's not cool. Think before you you do stuff. Think about if I'm especially if it's physical, and then you get the whole family involved, but then you love this person. You got to think, because it's like, dang, if I get my family involved, then this could cause us to break up for good. And then eventually the family will think you crazy. They're like, shh, they at it again. Nah, I ain't going over there. I ain't about to go. No, they had a fight last week. I'm not. So be careful. Just be careful.
Be careful, y'all. Yeah, that's good. That was good. Next one. Do not threaten. Kind of goes back to the physical, the emotional. You never want to be in a position to where you're threatening somebody. Understand? Look, if it gets to that point to where you're about to, well, if you don't take the trash out, this is gonna happen. No, that's not called for. Okay, it's not. The threats is just as bad as putting your hands on somebody or emotionally threatening. I mean, emotional abuse.
Yeah.
So stay away from threatening, from threats.
What do you see?
You got anything else you want to add to that?
Oh, bullshit.
All right, the next one. The next one is right or wrong. Never go into the situation to you're right or he's wrong. It should never be a he's always right or she's always right or he's right. And at that moment, it should be something that you go into. You want to fix the problem. You want to solve whatever the argument is about. That's how you have a healthy relationship. Is that you're going into you're going into the situation understanding that, look, we have a problem and we're trying to resolve it. It's not so much as that I'm right at this moment. It's just the fact that we have a problem and we want to resolve the problem. So there's not a right or wrong person in this. She thinks she's always right. That is a negative.
I am always right, okay?
No.
Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
No.
No. Yeah. What he said.
All right. Oh my gosh. This is a big one. We said this earlier. Listen to each other. Talk to each other, not at. Look. She is not my child. Yeah. She is my wife. She's my significant other. I don't talk at her. Talk to her. Hey, babe. Hey, can you cook dinner tonight? Hey, babe, you gonna cook dinner tonight? You know, that's different.
Okay, whatever you like.
And then I got poison in my food because I ain't know how to talk to my wife. Yeah, I gotta learn how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Talk. I said, keyword. Talk, not at.
Yeah.
So that's something that's big. You know, just understand that talking to each other, being able to communicate is a big part of a relationship.
Yes, it is.
You can't communicate, you got no relationship. Sorry to tell you.
And I believe a lot of relationships would go a long way if, and I'm speaking from a woman's point of view, so you can speak from the man's point of view. But a lot of times, women, we just want you to listen, and we are some emotional creatures at times, and so we just want you to listen. We want you to, and men be like, they watching football, they looking off, they done fast forward themselves to the game, watching the game, or they done fast forward themselves at home playing, watching something on TV or whatever, and you just like wah 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 wah. That's all they hear. Like wah wah and wah 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 and babe. They be like wah 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 wah, and then you be like, what I say? Wah 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 wah. Yes, and then there's an argument. You be like, I done said all this. I done wasted all my time, and I done said this, and you ain't said you ain't listened to me. That's all we want is for you to listen. And there are some men that all they want is for their woman to listen. I have heard people say, you'd be like, why you mess around on that person? Well, she listened to me. What? She listened. I mean, we talked and she listened to me, and my wife didn't listen. You like, that's not an excuse for one to mess around on somebody. But that is very important. Communication is the key. That's very important. It's for each person to listen to each other. When you go to when you go to, say you go into a counselor, their job is to sit there and listen to you. Even if they don't want to hear it, they getting paid just to sit there and listen. And while you're talking, the majority of the time they're writing stuff down. They're writing down things that they want to come back and talk to you about. That's the way it should be sometimes in relationships. If you can't remember everything the person said, write it down. Just write it down, and so you can go back and touch on what they talked about. Stuff that is very important. Some people have been hurt as a child. I've never in my life met so many people that say, I was molested as a child. I thank God that I was never molested as a child. But there are so many people that have been molested. There are so many people that have been beaten. There are so many people that the mother, the father, somebody done walked out of their life. And it's causing them to have certain things in their relationship. Like when they get in a relationship, it's affecting them in their relationship. And you're like, what's wrong? You're being insensitive and you're not listening. So it's good to listen to your partner, because sometimes you just never know. You could be, when God put you together, I told my husband, when God put us together, we balance each other out. When I'm weak, he's strong. When he's weak, I'm strong. So we balance each other out. I listen to him, he listens to me. And he most of the time listen to me all the time. I do a lot of time. I gets it out. And so, when you have a friend, you be like, girl, let me call you and talk to you about this and talk to you about that. Sometimes it's not meant for you to talk to your friend. He's my best friend. Now, I have a girl best friend, but he's my best friend. So there's some things that I could be dealing with that I'm, may not talk to her about, that I talk to him about. And I know that he'll tell me the truth. He don't sugarcoat nothing with me either. Neither one of them do. But you should be able to talk to your mate, and they should be open to listen.
Right.
Okay, I'm done.
No, that was good. That was everything that I was gonna say then more.
Oh, okay.
That was good. But listen, be able to listen to each other and talk to each other, not at each other.
Yes.
Very important. All right. Avoid, assault. A character assault.
Yeah.
Avoid character assault and name calling. Look, I can't stress that enough. You don't ever want to get to a point to where you're making fun of your mate in a heated argument. If y'all got a problem, don't talk about his peg leg. Don't talk about his fake eye. Don't for real, seriously, fight fair. If y'all got a problem, stick to the problem. Don't be making fun of each other's, what I'm saying, different things that's wrong with him,
Right.
If he stutter or not, don't be like, no.
Get it out, stuttering Stanley.
Yeah. Don't. Those are not the times to make fun of people. Okay,
right.
Don't be calling people names.
Because then
don't talk about nobody mama. Don't talk about nobody daddy or kids, bald head grannies or anything like that.
That's them fights.
That's what I'm saying. Those are things that you want to avoid.
I used to fight just for somebody say my mama. I'm like,
ow. So avoid those things. It's not fun to be, especially with somebody that you so-called love.
Yeah.
Somebody that say they love you.
Yeah.
That's not cool. So
Right.
avoid those things. Avoid name calling.
Because you married them, or you in a relationship with them. So why are you in a relationship if all these things is wrong with them? Some must be wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
forget you, one-eyed Willie. You
like
wasn't saying that last night.
You wasn't saying that when you said I do.
Right.
You knew I had a one eye and a peg leg.
Right.
When you said I do. So don't act surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
You an alcoholic. You married him an alcoholic.
You married me. Now you're stuck with me.
You
till death do us part.
You smoke too much. You married me being a smoker. Matter of fact, you were smoking with me.
Right.
And drinking with me. Now
right.
what?
Right. Hey, understand this. Look, hey, if you marry somebody and they have a problem before you marry them.
Yes. You accepted it.
You accepted it. And once you marry, it's not that time for you to try to convert them over to Christianity.
You can. You can.
But you got to live by it. You got to do it by example.
That's
at
right.
That time.
They can't see you smoking, and then you turn around and be like, "The Lord said that you need to stop smoking and drinking and cursing
and do it."
And then you go outside and be like, "Blah blah blah blah," and you doing the same thing. You got a cigarette in one hand and cursing somebody else, and then they sitting here looking at you, hypocrite. You see, that's the thing. That's the thing. People are looking at us. You hypocrite. You. People are looking at Christians as a joke. They're not looking at us as if we are, we supposed to be the sometimes we are the only people, we are the only God that people see. They don't go to church, they don't read their Bible, and they look up to you. And soon as you do wrong, yes, they're not supposed to put you on a pedestal. They're not supposed to put you, but you're still supposed to be an example. I told my husband, I said, let your light shine without turning on the light. You got to let your light so shine so that other people can know that you are a Christian without you even telling them.
Right.
They should know that you are a minister. They should know that you are a child of God without you even saying, hey, I'm a child of God. Hey, I'm a minister. I sing. I do hair. They should know all of that stuff. Hey, I'm a basketball coach. Hey, I'm a teacher. They should know that. You ain't got to give them resume. Don't give them resume. Be that example. Walk it out. I'm from the show me state. Show me. Show me better than you can tell me. I don't want to hear what you can tell me. I want to know what you can. I want to see what I want to see what you're about.
Mm-hmm. Right. What she said. Show me.
Stop being fake. Don't be no fake Christian. Don't be no fake friend. Don't be no fake associate. Just be who you are. Who can you be if you can't be you?
Right.
I can't stand it. It bothers me sometimes when I see people that are in church. They're smiling in your face. They're throwing a rock and hiding the hand. Just be you.
Fake people.
I don't even know why. I don't even know why I got on that, but be you.
Be you. Be who you are.
Be who you be. But don't be a hypocrite.
Yep. What she said.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. The next one is pause and try to think before you say anything. You cannot take words back. Look, although it may be hard, sometimes you need to pause, think, and then talk. The Bible says be slow to, what is it? Anger. And what else?
You started
it. Smart, but no. Anyways, be slow. Look, this is an old saying that I heard from one of my mentors. He said, "Be slow to talk and quick to think. Quick to think, slow to talk.
You ain't gonna get me because I will look at.
But be slow to talk and quick to think. That will help you save a lot of the arguments and a lot of the disagreements that you have. And be because understand, if you think about it, you can't, once you say something and it's out there, you can't take it back.
That's right.
You can't return words. Them words is out there. They out there.
What he said.
And you give life to words. And that's why it's so important for you not to talk when you're mad, angry sometimes, because you're not in control of what may come out of your mouth. Or a lot of times, I hear this sometimes where the older saints, they used to tell you when you're mad and you say something, that's what you really for real meant. I beg to differ. Because at the end of the day, when it all boils down to it, some people can say some stuff that they really for real don't mean to say when they're mad. So just be quick to think and slow to talk.
James 1:19 says, "So then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath." Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
What did he say?
That's what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. I couldn't remember the scripture.
Yep, James 1:19.
And like I said, be understanding where words do give life. Like you can either speak life or you can speak death to a person.
Yeah.
For instance, I would never call her out of her name because one, she's not a female dog, so I ain't gonna call her no B. I'm not gonna call her that B word because that's not what she is. You start to speak that over her, then what happens is she will start to become what you're saying she is. So then now you're wondering why she's out there. She's always trying to bite your head off. Well, it's because you have spoke this over her. You gotta speak life into the relationship. Speak life into your marriage. Speak life, not death.
Yes. What he said. Encourage your significant other, your spouse, your children, your co-workers. Encourage them. Speak life. When people say, what they say, I got high blood pressure and I'm gonna die with it. You just spoke death over yourself, you stupid. That was just so dumb.
What did you say?
I said you stupid. You just spoke that thing over yourself. I've had people say, "We all gonna do this." No, you speak for yourself. Don't put me in the all. You speak for yourself.
Right. Don't be speaking for me.
Don't be speaking for me. I speak life over myself.
I'm good and I'm gonna stay good. So, let's see. How many more do we got? We got one more. This is the last one. Don't avoid
the disagreement.
Look, understand this. You cannot avoid what has happened, what's going on. Deal with it. Don't try to avoid it. Like I said, all these things, if you follow some of these points that we gave you, you'll be successful. But one of the biggest things is you cannot avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't avoid it. If it's a problem, if you have to push pause on it for a second, go get a bite to eat, then come back and then have the discussion about it. Have the discussion, but do not avoid it. Understand. Recognize there is a problem.
Yes.
There is. You guys have a disagreement right about now. So deal with it. You want to deal with it now, then deal with it a year later down the road.
Yes.
You don't want to be 2 or 3 years into your relationship. Something happened at the beginning of the relationship, and you're now dealing with it just now, 2 years later.
I can't stand is people that say, "You just got to be quiet. You can't say nothing. Just be quiet." No, yes, you can say something. Because if you don't open your mouth now, like he said, later on, it's going to be bigger.
Problem.
The fire is like starting a fire. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it's just out of control. and then you're not going to be able to handle the situation. You're not going to be able to put that fire out. And so my thing is, I'm going to open my mouth, and I'm going to say, if it's something bothering me, I'm not going to not say anything.
Right.
I may not say it in front of people, but I'll wait and be like, okay, we got to talk later. But you going to know I need to talk to you, and we're going to handle this thing tonight. I'm not holding anything in, because holding stuff in causes stress, sickness. I ain't about to be sick over holding. I'm not about to be stressed out. No, those days are over. I'm not going to give you that type of power over me. I'm going to speak it.
Right.
You should try it.
No, seriously. I was, I'm for real about, if you have a disagreement, try to deal with it, because the worst thing that you could do is do something now, and then 10 years later, now you just now getting a bubble for something that you did 10 years ago.
Right.
You done grow past it.
What he said.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna give out this other little gold nugget. If you are somebody that has messed up in the relationship, and you constantly doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, don't think that that's going to just go away. It don't go away. It's still going to be there.
Yeah, it's just dormant.
It's just dormant. Like, you have to deal with the situation, find out why the problem occurred, and deal with it. If you never deal with it, and you never heal, and you never come out of it, then it's always going to be a problem. And there's so many great men and great women that have lost out on great relationships because of people that weren't ready for relationships. Be honest with yourself.
Be true to thyself.
If you're not ready for a relationship, and you want to just go out there and you want to do all manner of things,
just do it.
Just do it.
Get out the relationship.
Get out the relationship.
Don't be selfish. Be selfless. Don't be so selfish.
Say that again.
Don't be selfish. Be selfless. That's what I said.
Don't be selfish. Be selfless.
Don't be selfish. Be selfless.
Mm-hmm. And that wasn't even one of our points. That was an extra bonus for y'all. That was a gold nugget. So, just be real. Be honest. Be upfront. One of the things that I love about the relationship that me and my wife have is that we are for real upfront with each other. We for real tell each other about ourselves. For like, seriously, I'd be like, babe, that was ugly.
I'm like, you nah.
No, but
I joke a lot, so sometimes he don't know whether to take me serious. He be like, "You, all right, baby, playing too much. All right, stop playing, baby."
No, but for real, she is the bomb.com. When it comes to being married to her, I couldn't have asked for a better wife, because I can for real be myself with her. I can like, it's the real deal. Like, what you see on here is how we for real are in real life.
I thank God I could be myself. I could just, I ain't got to be like nobody else. I could just be myself. Thank you, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
When you guys see us out,
give you praise, we give you
how we are outside of the Little Love Lab.
This is it.
This is it. This is you. What you see is what you get.
This is it.
So, with that being said,
you gonna recap?
We are the Live Love Lab. And if you don't know how to follow us by now, you can follow us on Facebook, Live Love Lab, or you can hit us up on Instagram at DM Hystens. YouTube, David&Mary Hystens. And that is how you follow us on Facebook. I said Live Love Lab. Instagram, DM Hystens. And YouTube, David&Mary Hystens. And that's with the and sign. Okay? Alright. If you want to be a blessing to us and you want to sow into the Live Love Lab zone, look, hey, that's our cash up. The $ David&Mary Hystens. Hit us up on that. What we plan to do this summer, we plan on doing some great things. We plan on, do some things for the homeless. We plan on doing some relationship conferences. If you want to hit us up and you want us to come and do one for your church, hit us up. Let us know. You act like you had something to say. All right. Anyways, like I said, this is David and Mary, and we are the Live, Love, Laugh show. Thank you for tuning in to us. We love you guys. Deuces. Chuck the deuces.